So I have been making my own silver metal clay for a couple of weeks, and the batches keep coming out kind of inconsistent. So I decided to record myself doing it and measured everything that I added to create the silver metal clay. So it starts with pure anodized just really fine powder silver, and then you add some kind of binder, and in this case I'm using CMC powder. It's something they use, it's like a gelatin, I think. They use it in baking. I mix those two together, and it's about an ounce of silver with about a gram of the CMC powder, and an ounce of silver is about 30 grams. And then I mix them really well together when they're dry, which I made the mistake before of adding the CMC powder and the water and the silver all at the same time, and I think that was part of my problem. So this time I added them dry and then added the water after they were really mixed together. And I can't remember how many grams of water I added, but I wanted to make sure I recorded it, and it turned out to be too much. So I'm going to do that next time, just use a little bit less water. I also add lavender oil because it helps, I think, with the consistency, and it's something I've learned over the years of when I was using silver metal clay that I purchased from the store. But now that I'm making my own, adding the lavender oil just seems to make it more of a smooth consistency. Plus it makes it smell a lot better. And then I weigh it, and after everything I've added, it comes out to about 40 grams, or no wait, 35 grams. And the next part is where I spend many hours, probably at least I don't know, 5 hours trying to work with this. So I spread it out on my mat and use avocado oil to help as a release agent. So every time I'm kind of touching this stuff, I'm putting avocado oil on my fingers to be able to work with it so it doesn't stick to my hands too much. But as you'll see in this video, it still sticks to my hand quite a bit. So this is kind of where I realized I needed to use less water next time. And I keep letting it sit for many hours in between all these times that I'm working on it, and I'm trying to make sure I don't lose any of the silver. So I package it back up pretty often and let it sit for several hours or overnight. Like in this case, this was overnight, and then I take it out the next day and work with it again and see how the consistency is doing. And in this case, I realized I didn't add enough silver from the start. I think it just had too much of the CMC powder, and so I add about 6.5 grams more of silver. And I also mark that down so that next time I can have those quantities correct. And then I work with it a lot more, and it finally seems to be a good consistency. So I decide to let it sit overnight, and then first I weigh it, and it came out to 38, I think, grams, or just under 38 grams. And then the next morning I work with it and am finally able to cut out all of the pieces I need for orders for this week. And after I'm done with that, I have to sand all the pieces and get them ready for the kiln. So this is what they look like before sanding them. And then they dry after I put them on a heating plate for an hour just to make sure they're really dried through. And they turned out really good. This is definitely the best batch of my own silver metal clay that I've come up with. I used to use the kind that's in the background there, the art clay silver, which I've been using the foil wraps to keep this hydrated. So now it's all done. I'm putting them in the kiln. They take about 3 hours to fire in the kiln. And when they are all done, I will do another video and show you how they turned out.